Police Scotland's Highlands and Islands Division is Britain's biggest beat.
The geographical scope of where we police is phenomenal.
12,000 square miles of glens, islands, deep lochs and towering mountains.
We do have some of the most dangerous terrain.
Where the hell is he? Where is he?
Even if you were a very good swimmer, you're not coming out of there.
Patrolling this vast, wild landscape.
There are some vehicles out there, but I don't think they're going to be...
And answering emergency calls in the wilderness.
There's a dead body in the river.
The Highland Cops go above and beyond to combat crime.
Clearly quite a bit of blood.
Suspicious death, same as you would get anywhere else.
And keep people safe.
Leave me alone!
We will attend to everybody's worst day.
We need to try and make sure you're okay.
Here, traditional rural policing.
I've had a report of a satellite tag golden eagle that's gone offline. It shouts out to me that it's being killed.
Meets state-of-the-art crime fighting.
Top floor, there's a lot of rocks, a lot of cars.
This is a cocaine wipe, so it turns blue, and it is cocaine that. Yep.
This series goes inside the UK's most unique police force.
1 minute you're dealing with an avalanche, come on, and the next you've got a lively lab.
To find out what it takes to patrol the beat.
It is a family. You are working with your brothers and sisters.
And keep the peace in some of the most beautiful and challenging places in Britain.
The Highlands are quite unique in UK policing terms, not just because they're so vast and sparsely populated, but the terrain is quite hostile at times, and so huge amounts of it are out with the scope of a conventional policing resource. Police Scotland have always maintained a mountain rescue team, a small, modest team of officers, equipped, kitted, and capable of going anywhere, regardless of the time of day, the weather, or the terrain.
The Isle of Skye's Cuillin Mountains attract climbers from across the world. This is one of the most dramatic landscapes in Europe, but its rocky peaks and treacherous ridges can be lethal.
The Cuillins and Skye are probably the most challenging mountain environment in the UK, but yet it's beautiful. It's just an incredible place, but it can catch you out.
It's 8 p.m. PC's Cameron Hopkins and Sergeant Chris Tate have been called to the foot of the Cuillins in response to a report of a missing person.
Oh, here's the sheep. No, not wanting to move. There we go. Oh no, I've started them all now. That was a silly error.
Police in Dorset have asked for help tracing a man who hasn't returned from holiday.
He's an elderly male. He's in his mid-70s.
His phone has been activated in the Skye, so we know he is on the Skye. It's just a case of exactly where he is.
Climber Frank Johnson was reported missing by his neighbour when he didn't come home as planned.
Somebody said I was expecting my friend home at a certain time, they've not come home, and they don't know much about the route planning or where it could be. It's quite a hard place to start. I mean, the geography we've got here is really wide, so a starting point is quite difficult to find.
Cameron and Chris are heading to a campsite where a car that could be Frank's has been spotted.
We believe we found his car down at the Glencoe campsite, which is at the foot of the Cuillin Mountains.
There has been people that we think may have seen him this morning, but nobody can kind of confirm that that was definitely him.
Here we are, campsite. So is that red word? Yeah, that's him. Yeah. It's the front of the tent down there.
Francis, it's the police.
think an open mind's important because you don't know when somebody's gone missing. They could have left that morning, they might still be okay, they might be injured.
The store's cold.
In amongst the camping gear, Cameron finds some prescription drugs.
Is that his med bag here?
These could give some indication of when Frank was last in his tent.
So he had 4 aspirin left, out of 28.
28, okay.
Amlodipine was 28 as well. And there is 3 atorvastatin left out of a pack of 28.
You are kind of beginning to get worried that that person's not been in their tent for a couple of days. You want to be able to try and find out where they've gone and try and figure out the direction they might have taken, because there's a potential they're still alive out there injured.
I can see a phone case in there, but there's no phone in it. So it could be that he's got his phone with him. I'm going to ask the sergeant what she wants us to do next.
From the location of the tent, it seems likely that Frank was walking in the southern Cuillins.
You want to get out on the hill. You want to make sure everybody's searching as quickly as possible. But you're always worried about safety and risk. An important part in the search for Frank is gathering information to narrow the search. And it needs an awful lot of conventional police inquiry.
With the hills in complete darkness, there's nothing more Cameron and Chris can do tonight. First thing tomorrow, more officers will join the search and do whatever it takes to find Frank before it's too late. Almost 250 miles northeast of Skye, off the north coast of mainland Scotland, lies Orkney, an archipelago of over 70 islands, mainly rural and sparsely populated. This is one of Scotland's safest places, with the lowest crime rate in the country. But despite its far-flung location, the community here is not immune to the scourge of illegal drugs. Today, local police are preparing to raid the home of a suspected local drug dealer.
Okay, so we have a misuse of drugs warrant. So there's been significant intelligence that she has been dealing both cocaine and heroin from said flat. I'm not sure if you've met her before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what she looks like, yeah.
They also believe that a man previously known to the police is at the flat.
So the intelligence is that he may be in this address. So he's one to look out for. He's known for violence. He has been charged with police assault in the past. Obviously, when we go in, keep that in mind.
PC's Dylan Mackenzie and Ewan McCurach are not taking any chances.
You got the van keys?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Also on the team are other officers and detectives from CID who will all assist in a raid.
It's important to stop drugs coming into Orkney because it feeds into antisocial behaviour, can increase violent crime. Generally, with drug use comes associated offending.
If we don't find any drugs or anything, it's still the disruption of these persons that may be dealing drugs.
Personally, before we effect entry for a search warrant, I'm not really thinking about anything other than what I need to do when I get to the other side of that door. And generally I think in my head, because it helps me, what are possible scenarios and what am I going to do if I come across them? And that'll go through your head in a matter of seconds.
Ready? Yeah. Please!
Please for the warrant!
Hi, Bob. We've got a misuse of drugs warrant to search the place, okay? Do you want to take into a separate room?
The female suspect is inside the flat,
Chris?
along with her male companion.
Listen, a drug search warrant, pal.
Yeah.
What do you need to do, mate? Need you to stand up for us?
Yeah, that's no bother.
Cuffs on just now, pal. See, once he's been searched, just bring him through.
He's all good.
If there's intelligence or information to suggest that people in there could have a violent disposition, timing is absolutely crucial. We will get in and we will secure them by placing them in handcuffs and making sure that they are not going to present a threat to us, themselves, or anyone else.
Why am I in
Something
handcuffs?
went wrong.
Why am I in handcuffs, sir?
Well, you've on multiple occasions just since we've been speaking to you.
Oh, I'm not all trying to sort the police, yeah, I know, but it's not my problem.
Certainly there's a faint smell of cannabis. I think it's a one-bedroom apartment, so it shouldn't take us too long to search.
I heard you before you came.
We know these are not very quiet.
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Please, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know. Come in, X.
I think you should get lighter shoes, wear some flip-flops or something, huh?
Now the team needs to systematically search the place for evidence of drug dealing.
Grab that pole on that side. Yeah. It can feel a bit strange searching someone's house. A lot of the time you're going through it with a fine tooth comb because the things you're looking for can be as small as a SIM card. It can sometimes feel like a bit of an invasion into someone's privacy. You are always conscious that you are looking through someone's stuff, but more importantly, you've got a job to do.
There's nothing here today, I'm telling you. It would be like this if there wasn't.
I was told I was reading yesterday. You're a bit late.
It's quite a common thing for them to say that you'll not find any drugs here. It might be to sort of get in our heads that we won't find anything, and they're maybe hoping that we won't search as hard for any drugs.
You're looking in the wrong place, do you know what I mean?
Where should we look?
I'm not going to tell you that either. It's your job to find out.
On Skye, it's day 2 of the search for the missing hillwalker, Frank Johnson. PC Steve Harry Young is looking after the case.
We get calls every week to people on the hills. Every week, every set of shifts, there's at least one mountain rescue call where someone needs help. Sometimes it's because they're ill-prepared. They're trying to climb something in flip-flops, which they shouldn't be climbing. But sometimes it's the experienced mountaineer. The weather comes in too quick and they get a bit stuck and caught out.
Steve has gathered more information by speaking to Frank's friends and family.
He does have siblings who we've been in touch with, even this morning, and they haven't had any contact with him, and they are equally concerned that this is out of character for him.
Frank's sister, Dawn, last saw him when he stayed with her in Blackpool on his way up to Scotland.
The first I heard, 2 police ladies arrived saying that Frank had gone missing. And I straight away said, that's not like Frank. You know, something's wrong, that's not like him. He wouldn't just have upped and offed without telling somebody.
Frank's friends have also told police that he enjoyed Munro bagging, a popular hill-walking challenge where people aim to climb every Scottish mountain over 3,000 feet.
From what I can tell and what I've been told, he's doing all the Munros. He's only got about 20 to 30 left of the 280 odd that are there, and is meticulous in his planning. So this is really out of character. We know he's got good navigational skills. He used to be in the Territorial Army. He's an extremely experienced walker who never goes beyond his limits.
Despite finding Frank's tent and car at a campsite at the foot of the mountains, the police still don't know what route he might have taken. 5 Munros are accessible from here. He could have been climbing any of them.
Frank had a 3-night stay at this campsite, which is now overstayed by some days.
A local mechanic has been called in to arrange access to Frank's car.
We get given a very narrow time frame to be sent into a location to find out as much information as possible. As police, I think we need to be very discerning. We have to determine a lot in a very short amount of time. There's a pressure on that. Thanks so much. So all I'm going to do now is just do a quick systematic little check of the car, just to see if there's anything that immediately alerts us to his routes or his whereabouts. And we'll see where we get to.
Dorset Police have now confirmed that Frank owned a satellite navigation device.
Our hope was that obviously if he had a certain piece of technology we could track him, but this is the Garmin device here in his glove box. I'm just looking for anything we can use to help us work out his route. So here we go. So here, look, I've got some pages here with highlighted Munros. Everything is extremely organised. I've got what looks like a list of Munros he's been crossing off. The question in the back of my mind is, where can I get information that's going to help me work out what's going on here? Where is this person likely to be, and why?
The guidebook in Frank's car could help pinpoint which peak he was aiming for.
That was found on this particular page, so I'll keep that exactly as it is. That might give us, again, just that bit of an edge to know what he was thinking, where he was planning on going.
You're desperate for clues. So you're desperate for that one nugget of information that will help focus search activity. And when you find it and you get it, it's great, because you can give the family potentially some hope.
Okay, thanks, that's me.
In Orkney, PC's Dylan Mackenzie and Ewan McCourich are searching the flat of a suspected drug dealer. A female suspect and her male companion have been cuffed while the search is in progress, but not yet arrested.
The crack is they think they're going to come here and find tons of drugs, but they're not.
These are like a couple of months late, like, you know.
You're a month late.
It's not a tick list, I don't think. It's just sums. It's more than likely that there's nothing.
So a tick list would be names of persons that buy drugs from them. Usually gone are the days when they actually have physical tick lists. Normally they're on people's phones and whatnot, so that's why we rather concentrate on people's phones. Need them.
As the team turns the flat over, more evidence of drug use mounts up.
So we've got a needle kit here. This is obviously another suggestion of heroin use as well.
What appears to be herbal cannabis, a very small amount of herbal cannabis. I think that excessive drug problems and drug habits, people in crisis will use it as a crutch. Unfortunately, what they're doing is they're looking to do it for an escape, but it just provides another rabbit hole to go down that a lot of the time, unfortunately, they can't get out.
I was locked up from the age of 15, so locked up from 15 and I got put in security in Glasgow at 17. Right. Just for some crack when I was younger.
What got you into that?
My mum. Yeah. My mum gave me my first pipe when I was 17 years old. She's dead now, she died 8 weeks ago there.
Did she?
She's only 45, but she smoked the pipe, she was happy.
Sorry to hear that anyway.
It's alright, it's just the way it is it?
Yeah.
Can't change
It's
the
not,
past.
it's not a nice life for anyone.
There's loads of drug paraphernalia within the bedroom which would indicate that they're taking drugs. Nothing to suggest any drug dealing as of yet. However, we have seized one of their phones. Obviously we can do various things with that which would help us prove a case of drug dealing.
Then, Ewan finds something.
Another phone the guys are found under the bed.
And shortly after, they have more luck.
Again, another phone.
If you go in a house and you find loads of phones, stereotypically you could be thinking, are they burner phones? Used purely for the purposes of buying, selling and supplying drugs. It could indicate that maybe they are involved in drug supply, or it could indicate that maybe they just have a chaotic lifestyle. There's really no way of knowing until those devices are examined, so that's why they're taken, because we can't assume anything.
It is a really positive result getting the phones. Any warrant we do, we always seize phones because phones have the most amount of data on them.
The team discovers 4 phones in total. Search complete. Dylan shows the suspect all the items seized.
We got this, which was herbal cannabis. You've already said that it's a tiny amount, okay? Likely, we'll obviously test it. Yeah, we can. So
it says on the warrant we can take anything that's deemed documentation.
I really need to get a hold of people today, like.
Okay. Are these all yours?
No, but some of them are broken.
But they all were yours at one point?
Yeah.
We're taking it, okay?
You found nothing. How do you have the right to take my phone?
Because we have a warrant.
So I've done nothing wrong, so why should you be able to take my phone?
I've just explained that.
It's a joke.
Okay.
It's a joke.
It's fine. If there's nothing else from you, then we'll leave.
What is important when people's demeanour change is that what we're taught is that they are losing an element of control. So they're kind of going into a crisis. That's why they will maybe become upset, become agitated. So you need to be able to be on your toes, to anticipate what's going to happen next.
What reason are you taking the phone?
Because, as I've explained, under the warrant...
I have indecent, right?
Watch your language.
Watch my language.
Watch your language.
I'm telling you, right? That is my phone. I paid for it, not you. That is my family contact. So don't you dare try to take my phone.
Go, calm down.
Calm down.
Well, how do you want me to do to get hold of my parent? My mum's just died. What the I need to call. That's my last message on the phone from my mum before she died.
At the end of the day, we are people as well, and we appreciate that our actions can have sometimes a massively detrimental effect. I've got a lot of my life on my phone that I would feel very affronted if my phone was taken off me. But secondly, maybe they've got something to hide, and that's why they're going to have their back up about it.
I do understand how this
impacts you. I do.
I do, because everyone's lives are on their phones. I do understand. And that's your way of contacting your family. I understand that.
Although they're not being charged today, the suspects will now need to wait until their phones are analysed for evidence of drug dealing. While looking after communities is a crucial aspect of policing, the Highlands' majestic natural landscape also needs protecting. It even has its own dedicated police officer, PC Dan Sutherland.
I'm really passionate about protecting the environment. I think we all are entitled to live in such a diverse landscape. We have to try our best to protect what we have. I've been a police officer here in the Highlands for over 14 years now, I'll be coming up 15 years. I love it here, it's a fantastic place to live, great environment, great place to work, great people. Yeah, I've no reason to go home, back to the north of England, that's for sure.
Today, Dan and PC Kevin Taylor are heading out to investigate a complaint of damage to a site of special scientific interest, or triple SI.
Some triple SIs have certain features are protected in terms of the landscape. So whether that's geology, the environment in terms of woodland or native species within an area.
The suspected damage is on private land near the Glencoe Nature Reserve, a place that's earned its triple SI status for its world-renowned geological features formed by glaciers during the last ice age.
The information we have is someone has been undertaking a lot of work on public authority to landscape his land. which forms part of the Triple SI. So to do that without authority is criminal under the Nature Conservation Scotland Act 2004. So today the purpose is just to visit the land and make an assessment of what damage has happened.
For those in violation of Triple SI regulations, the consequences are severe, with fines up to £40,000. Dan has been trying to contact the local landowner.
Well, I've left 2 or 3 messages on a voicemail with my office and mobile number, and he's not called me back. I don't know the reason why. He'll not be expecting this, I'm sure. We need to establish the seriousness of what he's done. We'll be looking for signs of excavation by heavy machinery and movement of the soil. So I would expect that would be fairly obvious to us.
That's it then, isn't it? It's not turn and go back.
I'm not the professional in geology. They'll be utilising our Nature Scot partners, the complainer in this case.
Well, they're going to be taking the lead, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be taking the lead, like...
Just leave it here, Dan, I think. Just take a walk down.
Dan's meeting members of Nature Scot, an organisation that monitors Triple SI sites across Scotland. They've filed a complaint against the landowner and have requested police presence to survey the site.
There's only me doing this job full-time, almost like a jack of all trades sometimes. I'm investigating wildlife crime, but also investigating damage to the environment. This must be part of the works, yeah?
And there's it further up there.
Yeah. Just got to find out complainers now. I heavily rely on agencies such as Nature Scot, the Government Advisory Service for Protected Landscapes, and they can tell me what the damage is and where we go from there. This is part of the landscape that's been essentially damaged, or they want to have a look at, so we're just waiting for them. We're just waiting for them to turn up.
But before Nature Scot get to the site, the landowner's son arrives.
We're looking at a number of offences that have been given to us here. Right? I'm looking at the damage. All right.
The damage.
The work that's been undertaken. Like for layman's terms, someone's excavated this landscape, and we need to establish if that's been done without consent, and has it damaged the Triple SI.
Is that a criminal offence?
It will be.
Really?
Certain activities, like simply as moving substructure and sediment, requires consent from Nature Scot.
But if it wasn't SSI, it wouldn't be a criminal offence, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'd be led to believe so, yeah.
Right, okay. So is it Nature Scotland that have got you guys involved?
Yes.
Right, that's fair enough, bud. That's fair enough. You've got a job to do, a complaint's been made.
Yeah.
Which I think's a load of crap, that's my opinion.
Ross McGregor's family have owned this land for over 150 years, and they've been developing plots to sell.
It's really annoying because there's an opportunity for people coming to this area that want to have a bit of land, that they can put a wee shed, put a wee yurt, put their caravan, put their tent on, put something that doesn't need the planning, you know, and it's you're saving yourself a lot of money. And it's like a lifestyle change.
Nature Scot arrive to survey the damage. They need evidence to back up their complaint.
He's obviously not happy. No, he's not. Just crack on with what you're doing. Okay. Don't take much to do with him unless he really wants. I mean, I'm not going to allow him to. Bobby is like, oh, we'll leave you to crack on.
Are you there, Dad?
But now the landowner is also on his way. At police headquarters in Inverness, it's day 3 of the investigation into the disappearance of 74-year-old hillwalker Frank Johnson, who's gone missing on Skye. A team of senior officers are piecing together the information and leads they have on Frank, coordinated by Inspector Matt Smith.
I've been a police officer for 23 years, and for 21 of those, I've been involved in mountain rescue. In mountain rescue terms, we tend to have 2 types of job. We have a rescue, it's fixed point. We've got to go up, solve the problem, and get them off the mountain. Now, whilst they can be complicated, we know where they are. Where things become difficult for us or more challenging is where we don't know where somebody is.
A list of mountains found in Frank's car suggest he may have been tackling one of the 5 Munros in the southern Cuillins.
Welcome in, folks. Go for Francis Johnson, missing person.
Morning, boss. So I think the information that we've learned, the tick list was useful. I'm glad we found it. The problem is he has done that classic thing of being someone that's completed just about every Munro in Scotland and left these ones to last, which is just what people do because they're so difficult.
And there's a new lead. A mountain guide spoke to Frank 2 weeks ago.
When the guide met him, he described him as looking quite sort of despondent that he'd tried to attain one of the Munros to the south of the Cuillin Ridge and just not managed. The guide also gave the missing person some tips on how to attain the Munro he'd not managed that day by a slightly easier route. So if he's motivated to want to try that again, that's definitely a possibility.
Further to that, I spoke to the doctor. He was unable to commit to fitness levels and what distance he'd been able to walk. However, he did say that if he hadn't taken his aspirin or other medication, then it's conceivable that he could get halfway up a 3,000-foot mountain and take a heart attack.
Often we'll know within hours of somebody being overdue, or certainly by the next day. This is really different because we are days behind the curve with this.
But the team now know that Frank was probably attempting to climb the Munro Sgurn an Egg.
That's perfect. We can see your base for 9, so unless anything else comes in between now and then, we can have a chat and go and see if we can find him. Okay, cheers, bye.
In Glenroy, Wildlife Officer Dan Sutherland and PC Kevin Taylor are looking into a complaint of land damage in an area of special scientific interest.
The Glenroy SSI covers a huge area, and we're looking at damage to one small piece of land. In this particular SSI, the primary features are all geological. It's happened 20,000 years ago. The removal of the surface, soil, rocks, and rock formation. All that work requires a consent by Nature Scot.
Specialists from Nature Scot have requested police presence as they survey the land for signs of damage.
So what have we got here?
Taken all the topsoil off, they've taken off quite a lot of material and levelled it. Yeah, and they've changed the direction of the burn, so it's not going through the culvert quite directly as it was.
Okay, all the way down from this burn here, all the way across.
It's quite a lot of work they've done. The material they've moved, it's a lot.
Cool.
Yeah. But it's also the cumulative effect. 2 sites down there, there's this track, the big site down here, there's a lot going on.
The landowner, who Dan has been trying to get hold of for several days, finally arrives on site.
Had we known you guys were coming, it'd have been a different...
Well, you know the reasons why, if you ever pick up the message, I was explaining who I was and where I worked, and I needed to talk to you about an issue I've got coming up.
What is laughable is all this fuss about the land where there's a couple of stags and a couple of Highland cows. I think it's ridiculous. We should be releasing more land than worrying about SSI as that wee bit of road being dug up. It's actually laughable. We're going round in circles.
If you put your lifestyle hat on, I think you'd all agree it's a lovely place. That's why people pay money to be here. So it's finding the balance.
I totally understand that.
It's not the first time Alistair, the landowner, has dealt with Nature Scot.
It's quite funny to see them back again because after all these years we've developed and developed and developed and there's more and more properties, so it seemed actually laughable that they're back in the scene. And across the hill we've got Anachmore ski slope where they're digging roads up all over the place. We've a big hydro scheme where they're digging up mountains and no one seems to say anything about that. So that's it.
For me, as an investigating officer, the easiest line sometimes would be to sit on the fence. It's very similar to a neighbourhood dispute. Sometimes we have to listen to both sides. Are you quite content you've recorded that sufficiently? Yeah. Photography and we're reporting up. My 2 colleagues from Nature Scot are just undertaking the survey work. They seem quite surprised and shocked at the damage that's
in view just up there. So at the moment, landowners are aware of what we're doing here. Now, with Nature's Scott, it's just a case of waiting for them to submit their report to me.
Now, Dan's job is to weigh up if the continuing development of the site is in violation of its triple SI status.
Ultimately, it all comes down to, is a crime committed? And if a crime's been committed, we have to investigate and push for a prosecution.
On Skye, hillwalker Frank Johnson hasn't been seen for 2 weeks, and there's growing concern for his life. Inspector Matt Smith and PC Katie Johnston are en route to coordinate the search.
The weather's not very clever, and we've got quite a bit to go yet.
When you're driving to a search, your mind's racing, really, as a search coordinator. You've got the concerns about what it is you're going to do, who's going to be there, the information that you need to pass and brief to all the volunteers that are turning up. You're under an awful lot of pressure to get people out in the mountains and bring that person home as quickly as possible.
The mountain guide that last saw Frank has revealed that he was heading for the Munro Cuillin Egg, one of the trickiest climbs in the area.
The Cuillin specifically are such a challenging mountain environment. If somebody's missing there, you're immediately thinking the worst. The chances of them falling and have sustained an injury, or probably a fatal injury, are really high there. And that's at the forefront of your mind before you set out.
Assisting the police are volunteers from Skye's mountain rescue team.
He's been seen on the 7th of September. That's the last known sighting, just down the road there, and we know nothing more about him since.
He's probably going to be near a path, and those paths have been really well trodden, so he's not on one of the main paths, he's off the path somewhere.
The search team is preparing for a sobering possibility.
After 2 weeks now, we're not looking for somebody alive or time possibility.
Highly unlikely, isn't it?
Anybody who hasn't been in that situation before, please, back off if you want to. I'm hopeful to find something, but this could go on for weeks.
The volunteer mountain rescue teams across Scotland are vitally important. And quite simply, we could not do it without them. We could not do it. There's somebody out there on the mountains having the worst day of their life, or potentially already passed away. If that's the case, you've got a family at home, and mountain rescue teams are the last hope for families. If they're missing in the mountains, there's nobody else that's going to find them. And that pressure does sit on your shoulders. And until we bring that person home, sometimes they're never going to get the closure they need.
On days like this with the mists out, you're kind of walking up into them, never really quite sure how you're going to get up them. And you're trying even visually now to pick the path, the line, how would I get up there? These paths that we're on now stop really not that far up here. So you've got some decision making to do. And that's why it's super easy to get in trouble here. There's always the chance he's got higher, quicker, and whilst traversing the ridge, maybe he's taken a fall or gone off direction. But I think here, we're just looking at somebody that's probably come unstuck quite easily.
Cuillin Egg is the southernmost peak of the Cuillins, and the approach routes to the summit involve scrambling and crossing a treacherous ridge.
So how are you going to pick your way up there?
The families are always at the forefront of your mind. I can't really imagine what they go through.
In my heart of heart, I thought he's lying unconscious and unable to tell somebody where he was. There is always hope while you don't know. You hold on to the thought that he could be found.
The The search team has walked over 7 miles and climbed nearly 3,000 feet.
The amount of effort put into this search, you feel like we're just ordinary folk. Those sorts of things don't happen to us. And we're just in awe, really, of all of that effort for my big brother, really.
It's a pretty tough day. It's a pretty tough mountain environment. So we searched into one of the quarries and up onto the mountain ridge, but obviously no sign of him. So we're not surprised by that because the mountain areas that we're looking for him are pretty vast, and if nothing else, it's going to allow us to tick off that area and probably not go back to. So it's been a productive day, but obviously not a successful day.
You have the personal pride as well as a mountain rescuer that you want to bring that person home. And there's that element of maybe self-doubt. You've not searched an area you should have, that you've maybe missed the person. And unfortunately for us, sometimes these searches don't resolve quickly. And it takes a massive amount of time and effort, volunteer time, police time, to bring them home ultimately to their families.
With night fast approaching, the decision is made to resume the search tomorrow. A 115 miles southeast, near the village of Ballachulish, PCs Stephen Cooper and Roddy Sandeman are on patrol. Their beat certainly has its perks.
The scenery is, I suppose, the main draw. The mountains just come right out the sea from Loch Leven and Loch Linney.
It's not like city policing. It's not like what you see on the TV normally, I would say. It's not all pursuits and drug raids and things like that. It's just getting stuck into the community and trying to make your community better is what it's all about, I would say.
Stephen and Roddy have received a call for help from a local ecologist.
There's a cormorant stuck on the Ballachulish Bridge and she might need a bit of help with it, so we're just going to see if we can close the road and just see if she needs a hand picking the bird up.
Roddy has ambitions to join Dan's wildlife crime unit.
I've got my dogs and I love being out in nature and seeing all the wildlife myself, so it's a bit of a personal thing. So yeah, I love animals and want to protect them, so that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to be a wildlife crime officer.
So that's it on the left there.
Just up here.
The bird is startled and could run into oncoming vehicles.
It's an extremely busy section of road on the A82. There is a lot of heavy trucks and lorries travel over, a lot of fast-moving traffic. Certainly if you've got a police vehicle with blue lights, it definitely makes it a lot easier to help the bird than you would if you were just a person on foot chasing the bird around.
While Stephen diverts the traffic, the local ecologist who raised the alarm tries to corner the bird.
Go on, get him.
So, pretty sure that's an adult cormorant. Feisty. Yeah, so it would get my eyes if it could. They overshoot the bridge. They roost underneath it, and sometimes they overshoot and they can't escape. They can't get under the grid. So come and get them and release them. Make sure they're all right. This one seems absolutely fine. No injuries. So
happy that the bird is well, they decide to set it free to join the rest of its flock on the loch. One of Scotland's largest sea lochs, Loch Leven, is a sanctuary for thousands of birds.
This is like one of the most picturesque bits of the beat. I think sometimes the area is more populated with wildlife than people in the winter.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, don't come back for me. They dive at the end, which always makes me feel like it's all fine. no injuries. I've not had one yet that's been injured, so that's been good. I feel sorry for them though, because obviously they're just trying to roost, but they, when they overshoot, they can't do much about it, and they're not very good at flying, taking off. Just from standstill, they have to get a run in, so they can't get off the bridge very easily. But luckily, I'm here and I've got my towel and my gloves, so.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Blue lights.
Cormorants do get stuck there all the time. I know I see their bodies, unfortunately, on the side of the road a lot. It's maybe not the best designed bridge for cormorants. It's nice to help them where you can.
"80 miles north is the Highlands' only city, Inverness. On a Friday night, the landscape here can be just as hostile as any mountain.
Being a police officer in Inverness is a busy job because, you know what I mean, you come in the morning and sometimes you just enter the door, the call is already ready for you. You don't have a time to just say hello or have a cup of tea in the morning, you just straight out.
PC's Nathan Rayner and Mo Sawa are on the night shift in the city centre.
I think it's like everywhere, you know, it's Friday, Saturday night, it's a bit too much to drink and you start causing issues, but...
Sometimes you just get happy drunks, they just want to come say hello to you, take a picture with you, you know what I mean? We're just gonna have e-circle and then we're gonna park our van and just walk about, go to different pubs to see everything is okay. I always want to be a police officer, but you know, when you're born in an Asian household, that to become a police officer, in my opinion, is just the last thing, because they always want to be a doctors or engineers. In April 2020, when my dad died, I said to myself, like, look, life is too short, you know, and you don't know what is around the corner. So I said to myself, I want to be a police officer, like, you know, and I said, why not? So, like, we have very good relationship with the local bouncers, you know. So if anything's going on or something, they always just let us know.
How you doing?
The night is young, and the bars and clubs are starting to get lively.
How do you mate? How many go tonight?
Yeah, good. And you?
Yeah, good. How many we got tonight? The weekend shift in Inverness is interesting because when the people get drunk, they do different things. Like sometimes they just become silly, you know what I mean, and they just come to hug you and say hello to you. Which is fine. People having fun, we don't mind that. But sometimes people just start becoming aggressive. Hi guys, you alright?
Mo and Nathan spot two customers arguing with the bouncers outside a pub.
I'm not saying one, but I have not seen a one, but I have not. These guys have.
Do you want to have a chat with us? Come on,
No.
come over that side, buddy. Come on.
They pushed us.
That's okay, just come and have a chat over here, buddy. Come on. Just be.
Where are you going?
So what happened? Do you want to tell us?
No.
What are you up to today?
You do things. You do things.
Look, you don't need to swear. You don't need to swear.
Well, no, you have,
you know.
No, guys.
You don't need to swear.
Nice here.
I'm trying to find out what's happened. You're sitting shouting and swearing at us the whole time. Go home so we can speak to your friend.
My arm is so. You're. No, what's
Wait, no need for that.
I'm not gonna shoot.
Okay, look, you're on your last warning. If you don't stop swearing, you're gonna be arrested. Okay? You're on your last warning. You can just go home, okay? You just go home. We just want to have a conversation with your friend to find out what happened. We always try to give a warning to say, okay, maybe that person is drunk, you know, or maybe that person is like suffering from mental health. So that's why he's saying these nasty things towards us. So we always give a benefit of doubt. It's very important to stay calm when people are drunk, because I have noticed that in my short career, like when people are drunk and you try to be more kind of aggressive or you're not going to be calm, and they think they're invincible.
One of the men ignores all advice to calm down.
No. He said to me, the bouncer inside the bar, what's up? I'm just saying.
You've had more than enough warnings, right? You're just going to cause issues tonight if we get him against it. against the window more and we'll get cuffs on.
In my opinion, I think I'm more a little bit lenient. There's not like a right method, like how much warnings you can give to somebody. I think it just depends on vary on officer to officers, like, what they think is a breaking point, We give you so many chances, just stop swearing at us. When it's reached the limit, we said, okay, unless we're going to arrest him, we're not going to be able to find out what actually happened.
Other officers in the area come to assist the arrest. The man will be held in the van until he settles down.
Grab a seat there, all right?
It sounds as though he's actually just been removed from the bar and not been happy about it. So we're just trying to get them out of the town, get them home for tonight and make sure there's no further issues.
The man's friend is complaining of a broken arm.
And he's telling me taxi.
Have you had any injuries with your arm before?
No.
Okay.
You're a public service. Get me an ambulance.
No, you're not going to order me about to do something. Have you got a phone on your personal possession?
Yeah, I do.
You're not bleeding profusely. You don't seem like you're in a severe amount of pain.
No, I've got a broken arm,
back
mate.
of the van.
I've got a broken arm, mate.
Taking you up to the hospital just now.
So what am I going to do? Sort about a broken arm?
Have you got a phone on you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's in that pocket, but I can't reach it because I've got a broken arm.
But we face abuse every single day, in this job. But still, like, I don't keep any grudge against that people because I think like it's not me. Maybe it's just a uniform.
Minutes later, and now a bit calmer, the man is released from the van and persuaded to leave with his friends.
Yeah, there's two lads just walking up Church Street at the minute. We've been speaking to them for a while. Just wondering if CCTV could keep an eye. They're saying that they're just going to make their way home, but just to make sure.
Hiya, everything's okay here? Everything's okay here? My mom's, every time she talks to me, because she lives in Pakistan, so she always says to me, like, are you okay, and stuff like that, and nobody's too horrible to me when you arrest somebody or stuff like that. So no, everybody's just nice, and stuff. It's just a mother thing,
It's near the end of Nathan and Mo's shift, but the streets show no sign of quietening down.
You all right, buddy?
What's the deal?
What's happening?
Yes,
that's the police. What's happening? You okay?
The man has been threatening bar staff after they asked him to leave.
Right, I'm listening. See, there's loads of them up there that are saying you're causing hassle and all this, right?
I am causing hassle.
You are causing hassle.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to do that if you're always in the bar, because you end up getting backed.
Yeah. Come on, do we walk with you, okay?
Listen.
Good lad, come on.
I'm listening to you.
You have a good night tonight? Beside that issue.
You guys.
That's good. Do you want to have your chicken pakoras before you go home? The best part of the job is I feel satisfaction when I help people. And they can see that, like, the person inside that uniform is the same person like they are.
We're not going to buy them for you.
Okay.
You're in the right place.
Guys, please have a good night.
That's okay, you two, okay? Look.
On Skye, after 2 days of searching for missing hillwalker Frank Johnson, the mountain rescue team makes a sombre discovery.
There were a group of volunteer teams out, and they were had taken a different search area into a different quarry, and through a really good visual search, they had located what they assumed was potentially a body up off one of the ridge lines. On investigation, and when the team went up, they found Frank.
A phone call came saying that yes, they'd found a body on the mountain. It was a sense of relief, really. It was very, very sad. But Frank died doing what he loved doing.
It's believed that Frank fell while attempting a dangerous ridge on the ascent to the Munro, Cuillin egg.
To be able to find him, tell the family that we'd found him, when in a mountain environment like that, you're always wrestling with the fact you might not find that individual. There would be places that people could fall or come to harm, and you may never find them in the Cuillins. But thankfully, to get closure so quickly was actually quite a positive thing for us.
PC Steve Harry Young is gathering Frank's belongings from the campsite.
It's always important to bring dignity to those situations where we're packing up belongings, and if we're retrieving belongings for a loved one, we know that we're doing that to help bring them some comfort, some closure. We've not been able to help and bring about a different, more positive outcome, but we can do our best and deliver the best service we can. My thought process is trying to deal with this and pack things away as he would. So for me, this is about dignity, with a view that whoever these belongings go back to, they're in the best state possible, they've been handled with all due care, because that's just the only right thing to do here. Sorry, Frank. Sorry. It's a constant reminder that we're all people, we're all human, we all need help in times of crises. Sometimes help gets there too late.
Frank was 4 years older than me, so he was always... he looked out for me. He was my big brother. There's a lovely photograph of when he was just setting out to do the Hadrian's Wall a few years ago. And that's how we'll remember Frank, with a pack on his back, setting off to go on his next adventure. You can't choose the way you go, but if you could, that is what Frank would have chosen. Out in the mountains, this time the mountain won. And it was a worthy opponent, is all I can say. It was just so sad. But the mountain won, and it was a big mountain, wasn't it?
Next time, in Inverness, detectives close in on a major county lines drug gang from Liverpool.
You just have to be prepared for anything. These groups aren't afraid to use weapons.
Crack cocaine and heroin.
A lost dog gives the police the runaround.
Rex! I think we need cuffs for dogs.
And the mountain rescue team is battling the elements to retrieve a body seen floating in a river.
A human could be in there and snagged and caught in the water flow.